everybody in the in our surrounding counties will play nice, and they're not.
No,
We've
no,
seen
they're not.
they're not playing nice at all.
Playing
So why is poor Hayes County going to hold them back?
Right.
So that's my thought on it.
All in favor of 74 acre feet, 174? Aye. All right. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get back at it.
Everybody's going to tease me about this forever. I'm Roberta. I am college.
Some information about typical
It really be figuring out.
Edwards, they drill through it and then 3%.
Kind of got glazed over.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah,
display you over
it shows up on our map.
It didn't bother her. It didn't phase her a bit. She just kept on talking.
Is this your area of study or interest? Well, I am an environmental engineer and I did my graduate work. Remediation. It's all very interesting. The whole getting into groundwater, public water supply was more recent. You live around here? I live in Golden West. You live where? Golden West. Oh, okay, yeah. Golden Radio? Or are you here about that permit? Yeah, I'm on the water board for the Golden West. Asking for Golden West amounts for Oh, okay, then you're just asking for a 3-year permit. We just asked for a permit renewal.
Just a continuance of the permit in 3 years instead of 1.
That's for
Who's asking for an increase?
He lives in Goldenwood. Oh, okay. There's Goldenwood West, Goldenwood Brady, and Goldenwood Brady.
Andrew has a private well. We have community well.
Oh, so yeah, the Goldenwood neighborhood, the private wells, and Radiance is very small. Actually, ours is very
Radiance
small.
has 34 connections. We have 149.
So you're not asking for more drawdown, you're asking for a 3-year permit? We asked for a permit renewal and then, yeah.
We asked for a permit renewal. That's just one of the 3 years.
It's not you then that's asking for all that increase, it's other people.
Who's asking for the increase? Is it,
Radiance asked for a 5-acre foot increase, they're the only ones that asked for that.
are
The
they
ones, the renewal for this one,
Radiant?
that's not you.
No, this is us here.
Okay, so they have, they're asking for, they want a permit, they're requesting 15. They've had 10 and they're only drawing 5. So if they had 10 and they're only drawing 5, why are they asking for 15? Do they plan a lot of building?
I don't believe.
We don't know.
That's a good question.
I think they need to have more. Southwest Travis had more, had a moratorium on wells. I think we ought to have a moratorium on
On new wells.
all new wells. I think they're saying this district's in
It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Because with Jacob's well not running again, it's good.
Do you think this district has ever imposed a moratorium?
I don't think they're afraid. I think they're going to put people off. I think they capitulate.
Previous board, you're making sense.
I think they spend all their energy attacking development. Tonight is the most business-like meeting I've been to.
Is that right? I haven't been to that meeting in
That usually
5 or 6
they're
years.
attacking somebody. And they indirectly were attacking the former board by complaining about the rules. So they.
This is a much different board than the last one that I.
Andrew was president of
like Andrew, I like Andrew.
I thought he really knew what he was talking about. And I remember when Jimmy skipped to talk against him right in this German, the League of Women Voters. Oh, it's money for women. And I was so funny for lawyers. And Jimmy stuck his neck out, permitted excessive, permitted and I called their office and I said, and then later they made a decision you couldn't contest it. But I went on the instructions. And they're saying the Weber Valley Watershed Association. They are demonizing it's like they were words to the personal tonight.
I hope not.
Oh, they've been horrible. He's called him, Jimmy's called him liars. And this I don't know if you hear when the lawyer guy, Bill, whatever his name was, said, oh, it's they should lose their state. Here's a page over that board. It's all this guy attacking him.
Oh, Mark.
David, right?
Yeah, David.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. First meeting in about 5 years. Hearing this one's a little more civil. Huh?
Well, that's it. We wait here to hear each
When
other.
did you guys come up with that?
You know, I've had this place for 6 months and I'm bored. I'm worse than that.
They look nice.
And,
Everybody should wear one.
Everybody's up.
Mark
Rick got made down there.
Should have been contested. It would have cost Andrew $10,000. And we heard that all over Baltimore they were saying that Andrew I talked to guys from Baltimore. They said all over Baltimore. Andrew had no authority to raise anybody's taxes. So we don't face it.
I think
Tried to jump that in the past.
More third.
All right, we're going to open up hearing item 6, discuss and possible action for renewal application for Radiant Water Supply Corp. The permit allows for 10 acre feet right now. 2010, they pumped 5.49 acre feet, 34 connections, requesting 15 acre feet, and requesting a 3-year permit. We do have speakers on this. First one is Roberta Shoemaker-Beal.
I don't know what decision you've actually made, so it's hard for me to speak before I hear your decision.
This is your time to speak right now.
Okay, so I have to speak not even knowing what you've decided.
We haven't decided yet.
Oh, you haven't decided?
Decided.
Oh, I thought you did in executive session.
No, executive session was a whole other issue.
Oh, okay.
Was the
I'm
lawsuit
sorry.
from Wimberley Valley Watershed.
Well, I just wanted to raise the question that if they've only needed 5.46 acre feet, that's all they've drawn, and they already have a permit for 10, why would they want a 50% increase? Do you have any more information on that? Do they plan to build a lot of houses or something?
I think we'll get to that when they come in and
When they speak. Well, I want to, unless there's some very good reason, I want to contest this, a 50% increase. I'm very concerned about the water in Hayes Trinity.
Now, are you making a formal contest where you want to be?
I think, isn't that what I have to do? Isn't that what you said?
No, if you want to be involved,
Well, it's hard to
and it can-
contest when I don't know.
I have some other ones. There's other people
Do
contesting.
you understand the position you put me in, that I have to speak now when I don't know even what has been decided? It seems to me you would contest after a decision has been made.
It seems to me that you may be right, but it seems our
But this
rules
is-
don't allow that.
But this is when you tell me, it's very confusing, isn't it?
These are rules that ain't right, they don't allow it. So if you would like
I think
to,
you all have heard me say that I question a
So-
50% increase.
so you want to contest it.
If you choose to approve this, I choose to contest it.
You can't do that. If you want to contest it, you can contest it now.
This sounds so illogical.
I agree, but I'm just trying to help you because I don't want to get hung up in that same problem we had before. So if you would like to be part of a contested
I
case,
guess I have to do that. You give me no alternative.
The rules don't want you
Makes no sense.
all right, Roberta Shoemaker
Thank
Field
you.
would like to contest it. All right, Lila McCall.
I have to agree with Roberta, this is scary. Particularly when I'm looking at a newspaper article, Dry Land on River by Week's End. That was in the newspaper on the 14th. Edwards Aquifer Authority reports stage 3 restrictions imminent. And yet you all are seriously considering giving somebody a 3-year permit for a 50% increase. I have not been aware of any water budget by this board yet. Al has just given the first budget I've heard of. Maybe there has been a water budget, but I'm not aware of it. So I am with Roberta. I don't know, but I'm going to contest.
Contested case.
Absolutely. I think the water situation, and I don't think it's all fiction, Jimmy.
I'm not saying it is.
Well,
I'm just telling you, our rules say.
Don't think it is fiction, that we are in serious trouble about a drought.
When did I ever say we're in fiction about a drought?
Well, you were talking about the Parks and Wildlife, part fiction, part true.
The article is.
I don't think this article is all part fiction.
Oh, no, ma'am, I didn't say it was.
Okay, but I don't want you to get involved in part fiction and part true. I am frightened for all our aquifers. You're in deep trouble. Why on earth consider, I think it's misleading people if you want to give them a 3-year permit when you may have to go back and say, we're in stage 3 and stage 4, so stop, we have to go down to 40% restrictions of your water. Don't use this permit we just gave you, except for a very little bit. I think you need to rethink where you're headed before you blanket these 3-year permits. It's called water conservation. Thank you very much, and I do concur.
All right, Linda K. Rogers.
This board set a very dangerous precedent when it gave River Springs Partner a 3-year permit for a large amount of water. So now you've got everybody coming before the board asking for these 3-year permits. Now, Roger Q happens to be a personal friend, and I've already told him that I'm going to be speaking against his request. He says he's got very good reason, and I'm hoping to hear that. However, I cannot imagine anything that would ask for this 50% increase, or that there's any justification for a 3-year permit for anybody at this time. We are in water trouble. NPR is having a special program on Central Texas water problems some morning next week. I haven't found out the exact date. So conservation is the issue. Conservation is your job. That's what you were supposed to do. And working on this mag that you are wanting to play with and draw from, and this 30-foot drawdown does not make sense. It is time to step back, take all of this very, very seriously, and quit playing with egos and I think and I want and trying to make nice to certain people, and look at the reality. That water probably is not there. And I don't see that it's very wise to make a decision to give out this much water until we really do know what we're going to be facing from year to year for the next few years. So any 3-year permit, in my opinion, is not a wise action. And to give more water than people are needing or using historically does not make sense. I want to compliment Radiance on their low usage. And I would say stay with that 10-foot, and they ever get close to meeting that, then I would be surprised. But they've done an excellent job of conserving at 144 gallons per day per household. That's amazing. That's way below the norm. That they're able to do this and stay so low, I mean, I have to compliment on that. But looking at the next two that are asking for more and more, they're not asking for more water, but they are asking for these 3-year permits. And La Ventana, it's way over that daily allotment. If you do it for one, you're going to have to do it for all. And that's the precedence that holds so much danger, and you've started that, and you've got to step back and look at guys and get reasonable.
All right, Jimmy Means.
Members of the board, thank you very much. I compliment Radiance on their operation of their water system. They have one of the lowest gallons per day for most households that's within the district. And that's an excellent testament to the way they operate their system. Radiance should have submitted to this board any rationale for asking for a 15 acre feet increase or a 5 acre feet increase over their existing permit when they submitted their application, so that the public and the board would be fully informed as to the rationale for that request. That should have come in with their application. The public doesn't know, and they're not going to have a chance to speak to the rationale that Radiance is going to apparently present. Now, I've heard this board say in the past that, well, they're good people. They won't use it if they don't need it, and maybe that's true. But the fact is that you all seem to be inclined to give people permits just because you like to give permits out. And there's no reason for a 3-year permit. You all should be holding the line with 1-year permits until you have an established MAG and you have a water budget that you work toward for all the users, including the exempt users throughout this county, this part of East County. Without that water budget, which I have never seen you identify, and with no MAG on the table, a 3-year permit makes absolutely no sense. And I think that your consideration of this is poor judgment on your part. And apparently you're telling the applicants that the 3-year permit is something that you'll consider, because everyone's coming in and asking for it. So they're getting that message that you all favor 3-year permits. That's wrong. So I have submitted a letter contesting this application on the basis that it's being a bad case for you all. And I'll present facts when we have the hearing. Thank you.
Mr. McBain, do all those Habitat for Humanity houses you build, do they use water? Do those people use water?
No, that means water.
Yeah. I saw you build a tool belt on TV. So, yeah, they use water too, right?
They sure do. They go with Wimberley Water Supply.
Yeah. And that's something I offer. So,
Yeah,
you're a homeowner.
I am a homeowner.
Okay, just making sure. Just making
All
sure.
right, Dorothy Knight, please. Are we clapping for Dorothy or for me being
No,
good
for
for
Jim
it?
McMeans.
Okay.
Mark interrupted
Got
my
it.
class.
I'll clap for Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy.
Well, I think you know that I am going to echo the sentiments of the previous speakers. And
Speak up a little.
Speak up.
I am echoing the sentiments of the previous speakers. I don't know how you, as a board, can say that you're encouraging water conservation if you're considering issuing the 3-year permits that are listed here. You don't have any rationale for increases, you don't have your MAG in place, you don't have a water budget. You know, there's nothing that encourages people to use water more conservatively. We have to have water, but we know that there's very little available now, and there will be less available. And everything you do has to be based on that. Everything. So I am contesting.
You want to be on the contested
I
case?
am
All right.
contesting.
Dorothy
No.
Knight. Dorothy Knight, 203 Blanco. All right, anybody else? I have Bill Davis, last one I have.
Was invited to speak?
That's,
You can't be-
Oh.
It's submitted, but you can't. He has to come here for his reading.
My name is Bill Davis. I support 3-year permits and not generally opposed to 3-year permits. I think the proposals offered by a number of people here are ridiculous. What's their proposal? We're just going to say no next year? These people have lived here for a long time, they've got houses here. That brings up a more significant issue. We'd like to point out to the board that in order to entertain a request for a contested case hearing, the people making those requests have to have standing, they have to be directly affected, they have to live within a certain distance of it. I don't think a single one of the persons that appeared before you, some of them are in a lawsuit, but not one of them has standing. And so I'd like for this board to consider that at this next meeting, if the board chooses to have a hearing on this matter. You have to have standing to make the request under the district's own rules, 5.5. I just did a real quick looking at the numbers. You know, under Texas Water Development Board's numbers, even if after this is increased to 15, well, if it is increased, but even if it were increased to that amount, on a per person, on a per capita basis, which is what the Texas Water Development Board, TCQ, base their numbers on, they would be at least 26% less than what the average is for the Austin area. Okay, so and that's assuming no line losses, 100% of every drop gets over to the people there, and then they used every bit of that permit. I just can't see why people would protest this on such a small amount. I live closer than anybody else here that has spoken before to you up until this point, and I don't, you know, I'm not close enough to have standing, so I know that they don't. At any rate, thank you very much.
All right.
Well, clapping.
Okay. Everybody gets a clap. All right, Mark, this is your deal, and Roger Q, you want Roger to come up and speak now?
Well, first I've got a question, Mr. President. Rick, I see where Andrew Bacchus also filed, well, she actually lives in Goldenwood, but he put down 250 acre feet. Well, where did he get that number?
I think it was an error in his.
Let me see what you're talking about.
He resubmitted.
Let me see what you're talking about.
I have two.
Resubmitted
First one and the second.
Did you question him on it? Did he call?
All right, wait. Wait. We did get a letter from Andrew Bacchus. All right. Let's see. June 14th, 2011. President Skipton and members of the board. I hereby request a contested case hearing on the Radiance Water Supply Court permit renewal and possible increase. The permit actions as described in the posted agenda were proposed 3-year permits, 250 acre feet per year, and proposed a temporary rebuild permit of 250 acres per year. Are you putting a golf course? Roger?
It's a fish hatchery.
A temporary fish hatchery? Just a 3-year fish hatchery. All right.
He submitted an amended letter.
Let me finish the first letter we have from him. I'm the owner of a water well that serves my property at 16204 Hidden Hills, Springs Lane. I have personal justifiable interest related to a legal right, duty, privilege, economic within the district's regulatory authority that is not merely an interest common to the members. I will be directly affected by this board's action. This request is for a contested case hearing on the cited permit is timely filed with Mr. Rick Brown, General Manager, Rule 5.5 permit action by the board.